For every time you do a free event, do it very well, because if you can do for free, you can do for a fee. The fact that you're doing for a free does not mean you can do for a fee. And now I'm going to quickly show this story. Hello, people. My name is Sako, the comedy comparisons of humor. I'd like to welcome you to another segment where I share with you some of my experiences, some of the things that I did that has taken me from one place to the other. I know I learned from one of my big brothers, Big Balaji, says that the difference between HERE and THERE, here and there. They sound familiar, but there's one word that differentiates it, which is T in the there, which is time. The difference between where you are right now, where you want to go, is time. Just a matter of time if you're consistent. If you've watched my other video or the first video that I talked about, there's a place of course. I cannot stop emphasizing it, where you can get to rehearse. I remember a few years ago when I started, I would stand in front of the mirror and be rehearsing. I still do that today, to see my facial expression, to rehearse my lines. I would address an issue when this comes up. Today I'll be sharing with you. I've had some people ask me this question so many times, where a client wants to give you a job and they ask, what are the things you have done? Some of the things that have helped us so far are the things that we've done. Some of that came from the place of free. So I'm going to share with you some things I think you should do. The first thing you must do is, if you're going to be, and which for Christ's sake, you should basically understand, except for this part of the world where in Nigeria you see somebody just finish serving and you're asking the person, what is the experience that you have? I know some people that started working as a student and began to volunteer in companies, that when it was time for them to work in an event or work somewhere, they had that experience from volunteering their service. Some of them started from volunteering for free, but because they were rendering good service, they offered to pay them. And it's also happened to me before, where I reached out to an organization a few years ago, even at this level where I think I've grown for where I used to be, and I reached out to them that I wanted to host their event for free, because I saw that there was prospect. And the person said, what if we don't pay you? I said, you don't need to. I'm the one that reached out to you. It's different from you reaching out to me. And I reached out and I did this event the first time. When I did it, they paid me some hundreds of thousands. And because I did it very well, 2 years after, they called me again. They gave me double what they paid me the last time. Guess what? I did the event recently and they paid me 5 times how much they paid me the first time. And you can imagine, I'm saying hundreds of thousands. They paid me 5 times. And I was saying to myself, if at this my age, I can still reach out. And I learned it from a woman that I have great respect from, Joyce Daniels. How when she started, she used to write letters to organizations to say, you know what, I'm a compare. Do you mind if I host your event? And sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't respond. Now, let me tell you the truth. Sometimes some people will not respond to you. So I'm saying this to you sometimes when you've reached out to people and say you want to host their event and not. It's because, one, they don't know you. They don't have a reference. So the advantage that I had at the beginning was I was referred from a senior colleague. I was referred from my mentor called Oli Malam. I was referred from, one of my big bros, Bros Jedi, MC Mark. They referred me. I was not qualified for that event that time, but they referred. But I did not just stay in that place where I am waiting for them to refer me. I was always showing up. So I want to ask you, have you been showing up? I know you might be tired. You might say, oh, my church is not encouraging. But that's not the only church in the area. If you're in a church and you're old, or they're holding an event, they're hosting an event, and you're sitting there and say, if they don't call me, I will come. Let me tell you the truth, what you need to do, because you need to show up to have a video of something you are doing. You need to refer. So I hosted my church event. I hosted this event. As I host the event, somebody in that church will see you and refer you to another event. And that's how it happens. Some people do not even know you do this in church. Most of the gigs I've gotten today, one way or the other, it ties down back to the church that I grew up from, or the church where I belong. It's important. I understand, they don't value my service. Nobody knows you yet. So you need to show up. Reach out to them. Do you mind if I host the red carpet? You can start from red carpet. And every time you handle the mic, every time you have the opportunity to do something, do it well. Show up well. Whether they pay you or don't pay. I've gone to an event where they were not going to pay me, but I did the event. Like I said, the other event, I did it well. And if I tell you, I remember doing an event for a man called Tim Godfrey. He invited me to his church and I did comedy for a few minutes. And I got a job, and it was free. And I got a job from a man in the audience. You want to know how much? Hundreds of thousands. This was a few years ago. Whenever you show up to do something, have it at the back of your mind to do it well. Somebody will ask, okay, I've done that, but I've not show up. Have pictures, have videos. Make sure you get the videos from the church. Make sure you go to the YouTube, get someone to help you download YouTube. And I did that part and put it up. Get a YouTube channel, your Instagram, and put it there. Look forward to Thursday. If you don't post it on Monday, look forward to Thursday and say, I remember hosting this event. I have the privilege of hosting this event. This. Nobody will know you were not paid. I have one of my mentors that I do event for. He calls me, and I tell you the truth, I've been working with him for years, and I won't say I've ever charged him, because for me he's my mentor, he's my coach. But every time I do this event, I'm currently hosting a conference for 2 days. This day one, I hosted day one at the hotels, and tomorrow I'll be hosting another event. So today that I'm recording this video is the 28th of November. I hosted the first day and I'm hosting tomorrow. This guy saw me at my mentor's event, hosting it very well. So for every time you do a free event, do it very well, because if you can do for free, you can do for a fee. The fact that I'm doing for a free does not mean you can do for a fee. And now I'm going to quickly show this story so you understand where I'm coming from. I was on Facebook one time and I saw one of my mentors, Sir Mark, was headlining a comedy event in the month of May 2014. And I said to myself, I would love to be at this comedy show, because I haven't really done anything in that area before in London. So I reached out to the man, I reached out to my mentor. I said, I'd like to come for this comedy show. Do you mind? So why not? This was me in Nigeria. This was the month of April. And because I planned, I had a visa. I had a 2-year visa at that time. And there was a wedding I was going to hold. And it was going to be May 4th. It was May 4th, 2014. You can confirm this. You don't need to confirm the story. I'm not going to tell you. So for people that know, I tell you the way it is. I'm only telling you, as I'm teaching you, I've done it. I still do it till date. When I see some event that has prospect, I reach out to them. At this my stage, at this level, I haven't even arrived yet. I still reach out to event. So what about you that you're at home and you're thinking they have to call you? They don't call you because they don't know you. You'll be shocked how many persons will see you at that event. So I'm just boiling right now, and I'm boiling for a good cause. So I reached out and, I said to myself, I was going to be in this event in London. At that time, ticket was about 250, not now, 250 to 300. Just because I thought about it. And it's also good to be very nice to people around you. You must be very respectful. I told you, for people that follow me, like I said, I've shared stories with somebody, but when I emphasize the story to let you know the story is true, there's a man called Brad Lukman in my area, came to where I grew up. He told me about his boss's birthday in the month of, this was 2008, and he referred me to anchoring his bosses. From that event, that's where a Daystar member recommended me for a dinner that I had the privilege of hosting Dr. Sam Adeyemi of the Daystar Christian Center. I wasn't even a member of the church then. I didn't become a member until 2010, but that was the opportunity that I had. Guess what? Brad Lukman was a Muslim at that time and recommended me. All of you that feel that you are talented and you don't need people, I pity you. People will always refer you. People would always mention your name. People will always stand and say, I know this guy. I went to Turkey this year, and it came from a woman that I worked for 10 years ago. They were looking for a comedian at a company, and this woman says, and this auntie says, this guy's going to be the one to do the job. And my flight, everything was taken care of. This woman went all the way to recommend me, and it was my first time entering Turkey. I had to do, if I wasn't even Turkey, it was Bodrum. We got to Istanbul and I got another flight to Bodrum, and I was there for 2 to 3 days. And I said to myself, somebody mentioned my name. That's a place of God. That's a place of recommendation from people. Let me go back to my London story. So because I made up my mind I was going to go for that show in London. I was going to leave the last flight, which was on the 3rd of May. Just when I was thinking about it, why should I book my ticket? You know how sometimes you just think, why should I book that I was married? Why should I book my ticket to a comedy show that I wasn't invited? Guess what? A senior colleague that I respect, his name is Mr. George Will. If you can check him out, he's a fantastic compere and comedian. Mr. George Will reached out to me. I said, Sako, what's up? Do you have your visa to London? I said, yes. He said, there's a wedding in London that they want me to host, but I do not have a visa and I want you to host it. I said, why not? I said, when? He said, it's May. I'm not sure. I was not praying that it wasn't a Saturday because this was an opportunity to get my first wedding in London. Guess what? The wedding was going to be on the 5th of May. Remember, I told you that the comedy show I was going to go for was May 4th. And why was it 5th of May? 5th of May was on a Monday, so it was called the bank holiday in London. And you don't want to know how excited the man called me and said, I got a recommendation from you, from George Will. I said, yes. I said, how much will you collect? I said, this was the amount I was going to collect. And boom, the man called me back and said, I'm going to pay you £1,000. £1,000, £500 alone, as at that time, could take care of my ticket to and fro. And that was how I got the job. That I went, he paid the first payment into my account. It was 200 and something, and it basically took care of my flight. Guess what? I flew to London that morning on the day of the show. When I was going to prepare to go to London, I prepared some materials I was going to use. Remember, I was not on that bill, but there was a place of preparation. So I'm saying this to you. Are you preparing yourself for that place you want to see? Because there's a place of preparation. When the opportunity comes for you, what will you say? Remember, I was preparing, but I was also the one that reached out. I got to London that day and was a smooth one, And when the woman was going to introduce me, I can't forget how the woman introduced me and this was how she introduced me basically. She said, ladies and gentlemen, this guy just flew in from Nigeria today. I've not seen him perform, but she's just saying, in case it's not funny, I don't know him. She said it came from MC Mark, and boom. Remember, I was supposed to be free. The train, I stayed in one of my auntie's place when I went to London. The train alone to get to that place was almost about £50. So it wasn't really, I was spending money to go for a show. And the way she told me was like, in case it's not funny, now you. And, when you say God gives you that moment, and everybody has that moment in your life where God gives you and looks as if every attention is on you. And boom, as I started, it was like 3 to 4 minutes. As we were just getting to the 5th minute when the ovation was loud. And you must always know that part. When the ovation is loud, you must learn to lead the stage. I learned that a long time. As soon as they were enjoying it, boom, I caught it. I said, thank you so much. My name is Sako. This time, the introduction has changed. People began to say, who is this guy? As soon as I was done like that, I just started going toward the toilet. You know how you say you have killed the show? And as I was walking down the toilet, to the gent, one man said, you need to come back. You need to come back. And then another comedian came up. The comedian didn't pick up well, the way I did. Because you know how it is. Comedy is, if you start, you must continue the ovation, But the person wasn't able to pick up with that ovation. And boom, that's what I was easing myself. And as soon as I came out, the same woman that introduced me said, they want you back. Guess what? This was an open check. I said, if I'm going to come back, they have to pay. I said, don't worry, I'm going to pay you. Ladies and gentlemen, I went back. This I always say I was proud. I wasn't proud because I needed to prove to them that I had something. I can't come all the way from Nigeria and not have something to prove. And then I performed the second time. Just while they were enjoying it, I said, thank you so much. That's my time. So it gave me the opportunity. Guess what? The year after, I was in London for that show. This time, you don't want to ask me who paid for the ticket. It was settled. From that wedding, I got a job that brought me back in 2016 to 2017 from that job, from that wedding that I did. So first, you are scared of, what if they reject you? Even if they reject you, rejection is they reject you now. Doesn't mean you should be rejected. Stand there because you need all these things as your CV. Now I have a CV. If you check my profile, all these places I've gone to, some of them I did for free. But you will know, you will not know. Some of them they didn't pay me my normal fee. Some of them didn't even book my ticket. So sometimes you might need to reach out. It's not sometimes, most times, because people need to see what you carry. All right, reach out. I'm sure you can get the summary of what I've just said. You need to reach out for people to know what you do. Film it. Make sure you have somebody to cover the event. If you have good camera, if you don't have, beg the videographer. If you have to pay the videographer, so please cut your own session where you can't put everything, especially where people were being engaged by you. Put it out there. Have a YouTube channel where you can refer people to and say, you know what, have you seen my performance before? This is it. You send it to them. People need to see it. And you need to also submit yourself to someone that can refer you. And above all, there's a place of the supernatural where you need to tell God, I said, God, I need to put my name in their hearts. Even spiritual, the most spiritual persons on earth, they forgot their name. Have you forgotten the story of Joseph? Joseph was in the prison. He delivered the message. He delivered the message to the baker and the butler. And they basically forgot him. But when the opportunity came for his name to be mentioned, he was mentioned. Let me tell you about the story of David. David was playing the harp, taking care of his father's sheep, and was playing the harp. And obviously, there were people there. His name was mentioned in the palace. And guess what? One of the things I've learned is because I'm sure that David was respectful. Because if he wasn't respectful, nobody would mention his name. David was in the forest, was in the desert, he was taking care of his father's sheep, he was volunteering to take care of his father's sheep as he was a guy that people want to associate with. But the things, when he was doing these things, it wasn't recorded. When the opportunity came for him, he spoke out and he shared the thing, and his name was mentioned in the palace. It kind of made me understand that David was respectful. You can't be arrogant and be in the entertainment industry. Let me tell you the truth. No matter how talented you are, if you don't have character, you're not last. I don't know how I got here, but I'm sure it's for somebody. You need to begin to rehearse and humble yourself, because there's a level where you get to. You can't be there forever. You can't be a player forever. What will make you relevant today is humility, is what you do with your savings. So it's important that you must go out and talk about what you do. If you watch some of my videos, you remember how I used to work in the sun to go and get crash events, to get crash weddings, birthdays, and tell them that, can I do comedy? So many times I'll be rejected. I was rejected at the time because some people did not know me, and they were not sure about the kind of comedy that I was going to do. But guess what? It didn't stop me. You cannot stop and sit at home and say, okay, and if they don't call me, I'm not going to come. Let me even tell you that you have the greatest advantage on earth. Why? Especially in this level, at this time of life that you are. You have your phone with you. If you are talented, put it out there. Talk about what you do. Edit it. Put your Instagram handle. Tag some blogs. You'll be shocked what will happen. You cannot afford to sit down and the world does not know that you have talent. I know a wise man that talked about the 3 important D's. There's a place of discovery, there's a place of development, there's a place of dispensing your talent, where you share your talent, where you talk about dispense. Basically go and volunteer. You are in that church right now, you're in that organization, it looks as if they are using you. They're not using it. And let me tell you the fact that when you hear the word using, it's because you are useful, that's why they're using you. Because if somebody is useless, they use the person less. You are very important. You are very valuable. Don't stop at it. If you need, remember, you need a reference. You need somebody to refer you. You need to come out to do a job for free. Do it for a free. It's just a matter of time. Do it for a free. It might just be once that you do that thing, and you'll be shocked at people. But while you are preparing to do it for a free, for free, make sure you've done your proper rehearsals. You need, because when preparation meets opportunity, you will be shocked. Few years, I'm wrapping up, but a lot of stories keep coming to me. Back in school, I'm going to share this story, and this one for me mattered enough, a lot. I was in University of Illinois, and I think I'd done a lot of local events when I say local, I've done, people basically knew me, but there were some people that didn't know me. So I saw this man that came all the way from London. He grew up in Ilorin, but is now British. A special shout out to Pastor Josh Coyote, Paul Josh Coyote. I saw his flyer and I saw that I was going to be hosting an event at the Choir Hotels. It's called my Double Double Conference, where I was going to bring the former coach of Nigeria, Westerhoff, to come speak and some other. Yeah, but I remember Coach Westerhoff, and then I reached out to. As I reached out to the number. I said, "Sir, I see that you're going to have a conference morning and evening. Do you mind if I host this event for free for you?" I went straight to tell them I don't mind hosting this event for free. And few weeks before that time, I get crashed an event in the hall called African Hall in University of Ilorin mini campus, where they were having a gospel event. And I reached out to the organizer and said, "Sir, do you mind?" The event had already started, and I reached out to him and said, "Sir, do you mind if I come crack joke at this event?" And he said, "No, I don't know you." And basically, I felt so bad. That, "Sir, I'm popular in your campus." The man said, "I don't know you." This was a few weeks before. And then 1 week or a few weeks after, I remember I reached out to this man and he said, "No problem." Guess what I did that day? I fasted. Because I said, "God, this is an opportunity for me to express myself, to see somebody that came from London, to see my talent, as a convener." And then that was how I hosted the event. The morning session was beautiful. I did not eat that day. I remember I didn't eat that day. The evening session was awesome. Guess who came for the event? One of the people that came for the event was the man that I was begging a few weeks ago to please allow me. But I can't blame him. Like I said, he didn't know me. And you must understand that part. That's why you must always, because for some people you say, "Okay, I will show you when I blow." See, let me tell you the truth. If that is the essence of why you want to blow, you might not blow. You must understand. How would somebody come to you and say they want to perform, or they want to perform, enter your house, and you just give them the opportunity? You don't know them. You must understand that part. When I finished hosting the event, I saw the way the man was. He couldn't recognize me, but I recognized him because I was rejected So he came to meet me and said, "You did very well. Who are you?" And he was asking details about it. So while he was talking to me, somebody wanted to get my card. And I will say openly, I left him because I still felt bad. Said, "This man that did not give me opportunity last time. Now he wants to know who am I, or who I am, or who I. And then I left him and I went to meet. And then he came back to meet me. I said, "Can I get your card?" And I reminded him. I said, "Sir, a few weeks ago I was begging you at this." I said, "You must understand." And he apologized. He said, "I didn't know you." And I basically understood. We've done some couple of jobs together after that time. I'm saying to you, if you're there and your church people do not know what you do, they don't know you sing, they don't know you can act, reach out to them. Don't sit back and say you are a shy person. You'll be shocked the opportunity that is waiting for you out there. I hope this video has been able to be a blessing to you. My job is to help you. One of my jobs, my major job, is to help you attain from where you are to where you're supposed to be. You have full potentials, and you cannot afford for the world not to see what you carry. You carry a lot of virtue, and you must not hide it. If you want to join a mentoring session, it's called the Trailblazers, where I help guys. I hold their hands, literally hold your hands, to share with you some of the things that I've done. I'm not able to share with you openly on this video, but there are opportunities there. There are shortcuts, literally shortcuts to achieving greatness. And when I say shortcut, mentorship makes it easy. If there's anything I've enjoyed in my life, apart from the mercy of God and God's blessing, is mentorship. Mentorship has made me enter places I never imagined. It's made me achieve things I never imagined. The international trip that I go today, mentorship changed my mindset. It can change yours too. There are good mentors on earth. I know you might have had bad experience with mentors, but they are also good. The opposite of good is bad, but trust me, they are good mentorship. I know mentorship expires, but they are good mentors. And you must know what you want. If you want a mentor, you get a mentor. If you want a sponsor, you get a sponsor. And if you want a tormentor, you might also get a tormentor. help with this video. If you want to join our mentorship class, you can kindly just check this number. His name is Abraham White. Send him a message and say you'd like to join the mentorship. And trust me, if we agree on our terms, because I am committed to you, you need to be committed to me. And that's why we need to know the kind of person that is reaching out to us. You are excellent. You are blessed. Tell yourself, I am one of the best things that has ever happened on earth. If I can make it, and I'm still making it, I don't know where you were born, but forget it. Even if you feel you were an accident, even if you feel you were not planned for, God had you in mind. You were planned for from the very, very beginning, and you need the world to know about you. God bless you, and let me know what you feel about this video. Bye for now.